Hey, it's Nash. Today is December 7th, 2014, and I'm a little over 10 months on T. 10 months, the double hands. I didn't realize that's 10. That feels good to do. Next month, I won't be able to fit the number of months I am on T on my hands. I'll stick some toes out. Yeah, so I'm 10 months on T. I didn't really feel like I had time to make this video, but I know that I'll be kicking myself to not have footage of, like, kind of regular footage of, like, 10 months and things like that. To be able to tell, my dirty pillow, let's get that out of the footage. To not have video of 10 months would be disappointing, I'd imagine, months into the future. So, just a quick check-in. I went back to my hometown for Thanksgiving. Here comes my dog. Ooh. Oh, that wasn't bad. I thought he was gonna, shake the whole thing. This is Jackson. He's got his little globe with him. It's his favorite toy. Alright. So, I went back to my hometown, Albuquerque, New Mexico, for Thanksgiving, which was great. I love my family to death. They're great. Sorry, little hair. It's hard when you can see yourself when you're making the video because you're like, that little hair thing. And curly hair, you gotta create a shape with it. It's not like they're all individual hairs. It's like they're like a shape, and you gotta have a nice shape. So, okay, better. So, I love my family. They're wonderful. I had a good time with them. Got to catch up, check in, play games, laugh a lot, eat a lot of great food. I'm from New Mexico, so I got my chili fix. And if you know about New Mexican chili, you know that it's addicting and that you need to get your fill of it when you're in town because you can't get it anywhere else. But, part of being back home is also folks back home, understandably, I don't know if I want to say understandably, it makes sense that they have more of a challenge in terms of using my name and pronoun than folks here in Portland do, because they've known me longer. Some people, too, namely, named me my original name. So I don't want to say understandably, because I think that I want to push folks to show up for me. But I do want to say, there are more challenges, there are more barriers, and those make some sense to me. Why folks have a harder time with my name and pronoun in my hometown than they do here in Portland. But that shit is exhausting. I got called my previous name, and I got called she a lot back home, and it's exhausting. I felt exhausted by it and a bit frustrated. So it made me thankful on the positive view of things that I have created that I have surrounded myself with a community that understands and shows up for me with little trouble, and that I very, very rarely, if ever, have to hear my my birth name, and I don't think I ever hear she anymore, and so it just made me really grateful because I kind of forgot in a very short time what that feels like. So glad to be Nash again. So yeah, I'm 10 months on T. Experiencing a little more facial hair. I've got some darker arm hairs. I am pretty much a bald bodied person. I don't have any body hair really. I never really have. And so and the body hair I have had has been blonde. So that's exciting. I looked down at my arm the other day and I thought there was some schmutz on it, and I was like, "Ooh, get that out. What's on my arm?" And some dirt. It wasn't dirt. It was darkening hairs. It was a little bit of brown hair, and you can't even see it. Not only can you not see it on camera, you can't even really see it here, but I can if I get the right light. It's just darker. It's not thicker or anything or more full, but I do have some brown hairs on my arm. So that's happening. I got some darkening hairs here. I've got 2 sideburn hairs and 1 on the side. So that's kind of weak sauce, but something. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I feel like my 1 year is really quickly approaching, and that's really exciting. But at the same time, I kind of am feeling like uh, that's like a little less significant than I thought it would feel. Like it doesn't feel like I thought it would feel. Spending so many years watching 1 year compilations and feeling like just like vying for my body to look like that, and like being like, oh my god, that's gonna be such a momentous occasion, and not to diminish the significance of 1 year. I recognize how fortunate I am, and how far I've come and all those things, but already I'm kind of like, now I'm watching 2 year videos and being like, oh, now I want that, and those changes between the 1 and 2 year. And, hopefully, fingers crossed, that's not like some vicious cycle that's never going to end. And that I do eventually, um, hopefully by the time hormonal changes are over, I'm feeling good. And of course, there are things I could do outside of hormonal changes, like exercise and diet, and I mean, even like cutting my hair and things like that. But I do hope that I kind of feel less of that pull to like be so future focused, um, because I do want to be present, and I do want to finally find that kind of comfort in my body, and I do hope I see some changes that I haven't seen yet. I guess that's really the piece. Of course, most folks have some kind of discomfort in their body, and I expect that, but there are just some changes that I'm hoping tea will help produce that I have not seen yet, and I've got my hopes up for that. I think that's it. It's been a challenging month in my personal life, and I don't necessarily want to dig into that on YouTube, but you know, I think just for posterity to and also to just acknowledge that uh, tea and my transition is not at all central really to my daily life these days. It came to quite a forefront, I think, when I was back home, just because it was so apparent that uh, it just came up all the time because I was being misgendered so often. But really, like in my day to day in Portland, like it doesn't come up all that often. Socially, being read as male like super consistently, um, potentially read as trans, but definitely getting heat all the time. Uh, I'm definitely feeling more comfortable with he pronouns. Um, I prefer they, and I use they pronouns most of the time, but now in those moments that I used to hear she all the time, now I hear he, and that feels pretty good. I feel pretty good about he pronouns, and I'm getting more and more used to the way that sounds. Just like when I changed my name, of course, it didn't mean it was not the right decision. The fact that it was like kind of odd to hear at first, and it took some getting used to. And the same goes for new pronouns. It takes some getting used to, and that's sounding really pretty right these days. I'm still preferring they pronouns, and I'm still using those, but he's okay, and I'm getting really used to hearing those around in my life too. So yeah. Anyway, 10 months on T. Nash signing off. December 7th, 2014. See you next month.